They moved at night. No press, no warnings, just wheels on the ground, engines roaring in the dark. In the last 72 hours, hundreds of armored vehicles, radar trucks, fuel tankers, and U.S. troops were quietly repositioned to military installations just 50 to 70 miles from the Canadian border, from Montana to Michigan. Officially, the Pentagon calls it a classified readiness exercise. But satellite images tell a different story, because these aren't normal training drills. They aren't even happening inside U.S. military zones. They're happening in civilian areas, near farms, gas stations, border crossings, and even small airports. So what's going on? According to one defense analyst who requested anonymity, this isn't a drill. They're testing rapid deployment routes, and they're not practicing for Mexico or the Pacific. They're watching the North. Why? Why would the U.S. be watching Canada, its closest ally? Let's rewind. The tipping point. Arctic control, the Arctic. Quiet, frozen, and almost forgotten, but beneath its icy surface lies oil, gas, critical minerals, and strategic shipping routes. As the ice melts, global powers are racing to claim control. And recently, Canada has taken bold steps to assert Arctic sovereignty in ways that Washington isn't too happy about. From signing resource exploration deals with China to backing BRICS-friendly Arctic corridors, Canada has made it clear it wants a seat at the big table. Washington, meanwhile, has been pushing to expand its military presence in the north and expects Ottawa to fall in line. But under Canada's new leadership, especially with Mark Carney pushing economic independence, that alliance is looking more fragile than ever. And then came the leak. Leaked intel, the NORAD breach. 3 days ago, a whistleblower from inside NORAD leaked that 2 American surveillance drones were denied airspace clearance by Canada over Yukon territory. A proposed joint military base project near Nunavut was halted unilaterally by Ottawa. And a quiet meeting between Chinese officials and Arctic Canadian ministers was observed by U.S. satellites. These events alone are not alarming, but when pieced together, they tell a different story, a story of mistrust, divergence, and a possible fracture in the most stable border on Earth. What people are seeing in the towns of Grand Forks, Warroad, Baudette, and even as far east as Sault Ste. Marie, local residents have started documenting unusual activity. Black Hawk helicopters flying unusually low, long convoys of Humvees parked behind shopping malls, temporary military tents appearing in empty fields, and even Canadian radio interference reports linked to U.S. electronic warfare equipment. One trucker who regularly crosses between Ontario and Michigan said, "I've seen more troops in the past week than in the last 5 years. Something's up. They're not even trying to hide it anymore." Officials stay silent. When pressed, Canadian defense officials gave a vague answer. "We continue to monitor all Allied operations near our territory and remain in coordination with U.S. command structures." But many believe Canada was not informed in advance, and that's where the danger lies. Because if the U.S. military is conducting secret maneuvers near Canadian soil without Ottawa's full knowledge, it suggests that Washington is preparing for something outside the bounds of the traditional alliance. The BRICS factor. Let's not forget the global context. In recent months, several Western countries, including France, Ireland, and even Canada, have shown interest in closer ties with BRICS nations. This includes attending secret summits, signing quiet energy deals, and challenging the dollar's dominance in global trade. To Washington, this is not just diplomacy, it's disobedience. Sources close to the U.S. State Department say Canada's flirtation with BRICS-aligned policies has caused concern among top advisors to both Trump and Biden camps. Could the U.S. be preparing to pressure Ottawa back into line? Or worse, preparing for the day Canada turns its back on Washington? What comes next? What does this all mean? Are we witnessing a military drill? A message to Canada? A readiness operation in case of Arctic confrontation? Or is it something deeper? Could it be that the world's most peaceful border is no longer as stable as we thought? For now, neither the White House nor Parliament Hill are offering clarity. But on the ground, on the roads, and in the skies, the signs are clear. Something big is happening, and we're not being told the truth. The world should be watching, because when allies start acting like enemies, history tells us something is about to break.